Hey everybody, welcome to Chin Fat. In this episode, continuing on the series in Davinci Resolve, I'm going to show you guys how to start renaming files inside of the software here, inside of Davinci Resolve. So I've got a quick project here that I've created. I've done a right click and save as and named it. I'm going to go to my project settings. This is kind of important because if you don't want this, you can skip through it, but this is kind of important because we are basing the settings in this. We're setting up a project based on the settings of the media that we're importing. And know that this footage that I'm importing is 2840 by 1080 DCI here. So it's a 1.89 to 1 aspect ratio. I'm going to select that, and it's a true 24 frame per second project here. So the timeline frame rate and the project settings frame rate is the same as the media that I'm importing here. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to double click on this and open it, and we are going to jump to the media tab, and I'm going to just quickly import my footage here, and then we'll show you the renaming portion here. I'm going to go to my project folder here, and I've got all the footage from the project that I'm going to import into. Got all the footage that I'm going to import into the project here. I'm just Command A and select it all and drag it down here and drop it into my master, into my media pool here, and I've got everything imported. Before I start organizing this, I want to start naming these files. These files come from there were three. This was a short film, and and it has three different scenes in it: scenes 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to be renaming these files based off of the slate numbers here. And you can do this either in the media pool here, or you can do it in the timeline window as well. So we're just going to do this in the media pool area here. You can do this in the timeline area as well. You can rename the files here just fine. But we're going to do it in the media pool just because it's just as easy as it is in the timeline area. I think a little bit better as well. I'm going to grab my little monitor here, and I'm going to pull this over so I can see. I want to be able to see the slate. If a scene or a shot is shot properly, there will be a slate in front at the very first frame when they start rolling the camera. They will not roll the camera until that slate is in front of it. So the very first frame that you see is the slate numbered. And we've got the three different scenes here. I'm going to go to our thumbnail view right here. Click on that. We're going to go to the thumbnail view, and I'm going to expand these, make them look a bit bigger here. And these are not in the right order here. Something's happened here where I've imported these. I want these should go from left to right, and then down to the next row, and left to right, and down into the next row, and left to right. And the very first shot that I should be seeing, the very first scene that I should be seeing here is shot 1, take 1, and I'm not seeing that right now. And the reason why is because I've got if I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go to my list view here. I'm going to change from my thumbnail view to my list view here, and we're going to tell this to arrange by clip name. Here, I'm going to click on that so the arrow's pointed up, and that will be the order that everything was shot in. You can see clip 1, clip 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 was deleted because it was a misfire clip. Now I can go over and hit the thumbnail, and everything will be in that order from left to right down to the next one. And the first one that I'm looking at here is scene 1, take 1. So out of scene 1, that is the very first setup that they're doing is scene 1, take 1. All these will have the number that start off with scene 1. That's scene 1A. They should be in all caps. It's much easier to read to put the A in all caps. And then the next one is going to be 1B. So all these different setups. The first setup is scene 1. The second setup is scene 1A. The second setup is scene 1B, and so on. And then they will have takes. Then they will have takes up here as well. Each one of these, they got it on the first take. But then as you move in here, you'll notice there are some of these that are scene 1 delta, or scene 1D, take 1, and this one actually has 6 takes in it. If we go to the last one here, here's the last take right here, and it is scene 6, and it is take 6. So that took them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get that right. So we're going to start renaming these here. And the way you rename files, you usually, within post-production, you'd pretty much never transfer the footage over from your card into the folder, and then you go into the folder and rename them. Some people do that if they're just independently working on projects, but as a professional project with large-scale post-production, they will never do that. What they will do is they will put this footage in a day folder based on the date. They'll put these in by two things, by date and by roll number. And roll is how many cards you're using. Roll 1, it's a reference to film. Roll 1, roll 2, roll 3 is card 1, card 2, card 3 that you're dumping off. And those will be in a date folder based on roll numbers as well. You'll have a roll number, you'll have the date, then you'll have the roll number inside of those folders. This is all shot in one day and on one roll, so they weren't marking the roll number. But if you look at this footage here, this is the name of the file that was shot. This is red footage that's been proxied, but still the name of the clips have the the roll number that's A002, and then the clip number, clip001, then the randomized name right there, and then .mov. But we do not want to change those. That could really screw things up if you change the name of the actual clip files that's on your hard drive. You do the renaming in Resolve in the editing software, and this way it is non-destructive. It is non-destructive in the sense that it does not change the nature of the file on your hard drive. It just changes it within the software. So I'm going to click on this here. We're going to go to the beginning, and that says clip 1. And all you have to do to change the name here is you click on the name once, and then it highlights it, and it asks you what you want to rename it. This is shorthand for a scene number here. As you go 1 space T1. And I'm going to turn my caps on, so it's kind of hard to see the little T there, so I put it in all caps. We're going to go to the next one here, get to the very beginning, and this is 1 alpha take 1. As a second AC on set, putting this light in front of the camera, when they read off the number for audio, they will say the letter. Rather than say the letter, they will say 1 alpha. They usually use military lingo, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, so on, to read the slate numbers, because A, B, C, D all kind of sounds the same, and when we need to hear that in sound, they say it nice and clear. They'll say 1 alpha, take 1 marker, and then they'll clap the slate if they're sync sound. So we're going to click on this here, just click on the name, and we're going to name it 1AT1. So I put a space in between that. So this is shorthand basically for scene 1 alpha, take 1. And now we know the number of that shot. I'm going to move over to the next one here, and we're going to continue to do this throughout the project here. I'm going to go 1 Bravo, T1. Then when you get to the shots where there were multiple takes here, this one is 1C, take 1. This only had 1 take. 1C, T1. Now we're going to move over to this, and this is the one that had 6 takes here. So we're going to move to the beginning. So what this is called here is this is called live media preview. This skims through the clip, it scrubs through the clip as you just hover your mouse over it and scrub through it like this from beginning to end. You can see the entire clip that will display up in the window right there. So we're just going to move the mouse to the very beginning here, and you can see that first frame there, and now I can move down on the name, click it, and we're going to type in 1D T2. Oops, I did not do 1D take 1 here. Let's do that one. 1D take 1, and if you want to make sure that is, we scrub to the beginning there and look at the slate. So I'm going to keep renaming these here. Once again, highlight 1DT3. So I am going to go through each one of these and rename them so each one has the proper name, and then we're going to come back and show you just quickly how to organize these. Okay, we are back, and I've renamed all these clips from this day's shoot here. I've got them all renamed here, but I want to show you this. If you go to one of these clips here and you right-click on it and you say Reveal in Finder, what this is going to do is show you the clip in your hard drive, and it brings that open. You notice here on my clip, it has not renamed my clip. This is non-destructive. These are the original names of the files here, and they have not been renamed. So it's only doing that in the software. So once again, that's non-destructive. This is really important, especially when it comes to reconnecting projects. If you're working with a team and everybody has the same media, the project files tell that media what to do. And so if somebody renames the files on the actual hard drive, on these ones right here, if you're going to go in here and start renaming these, it will destroy those files. Let me show you this here. I'm going to grab this, and we're going to name this 1AT1. And now watch what happens. Before I do that, let me copy this, because I'm going to rename it back to its original file so it reconnects. So now I just copied that name, and I'm going to say 1AT1. And now when I go back to Resolve, all of a sudden it just disconnected the file, and it has no idea where it's at or how to reconnect it. Because what this is doing is reading the source name, which if you got it selected over here, right there, that is the source name right here. And that clip is no longer named that, so it cannot reconnect it to it. And if you do that and you start renaming stuff, it's going to, especially on a big production, post-production project where lots of people are accessing the media, that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to just basically undo that. I did a Command-Z in my Finder, and it renamed it back to the original file. I'm going to go back to Resolve, and now it's magically connected. Okay, the last step of this that I'm going to be doing is organizing these into folders. So I have 3 scenes, one that takes place in the classroom in here. It's all the same scene, all in the same location. And then I have one of a person walking into the door into the building, and then I have another shot of somebody walking by, approaching the building from outside here. So that's 3 different scenes. So all the scene numbers that start with 1 are going to go into the first scene, which is scene 1. I'm going to select the first clip here. I'm going to hold down Shift and select everything in between. I'm going to go to the last one that's named. So I'm going to go down to what would be called 1 Papa Take 1 if you're doing the military lingo here. So I'm going to I've selected the first clip, and I scroll down, and I'm going to hold down Shift and select everything in between. Click on this one, holding down Shift, and it's selected everything there. And I'm going to create a new bin. So that is Command-Shift-N, or you can just right-click in here and do that and make a new bin. And I'm going to type this in. This is going to be scene 1. That's my first scene there, and I've got that folder created. Now I can grab all that media for that scene and drag it over and hover over the scene 1 and drop it, and now it's in that scene folder. When I click, there's the scene folder right there. If I click on this, it will show all my media in scene 1. I'm going to do Command-Shift-N, and we're going to do a new bin. By the way, if you have a scene folder selected, it just put that folder in that bin. So I'm going to click away from that and do undo, Command-Z to undo. But I'm going to select the master one here, and now do Command-Shift-N, and it will create a new one that's not shoved in that scene 1 folder, scene 2. And let's create one more, make sure that's deselected, and the master is selected, Command-Shift-N, and we'll name this scene 3. So within the master here, I just have my scene 2 file here. I can grab that, drag it over, drop it into my scene 2 folder. I have 2 files I'm going to drag into my scene 3 folder, drag that over and drop it. And there you go. Everything's all organized, ready to go. I've got my master folder, which has scenes 1, 2, and 3, and has all the media for each individual scene in their own respective folders. Well, that's it for this episode. Pretty simple to rename files inside of Resolve. But as I mentioned, I would not recommend renaming your actual files after you take them out of a camera. I would just take the entire card, copy it into a day folder that's based on the date that it was shot on, and then if you have multiple rolls during the day, it would be roll 1, roll 2, roll 3, however many rolls you have for that day. On a film shoot, just one last final thing, on a film shoot, they will never start over on the number on a new day. They will have day 2, and then the roll that they start shooting on that day, if they did some rolls 1, 2, and 3 on day 1, on day 2, they would start with roll 4. They never have the same roll numbers. Every single card you shoot on has a unique number. So just a little FYI there. But yeah, in the next episode, we will start getting into the basics of editing within Davinci Resolve.